Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Mary Guy, and I'm here to give you my progress on this day, May the 15th, on my May 2025 goals. I have a set of 6 of them. I also have a follow-up from yesterday's video progress where I actually tracked my, I was tracking my spend and I realized how much I spent. And then last weekend, for Mother's Day weekend, I actually was being proactive by creating a Mother's Day weekend budget. Well, I have another event going on this weekend. And so on the previous video, I shared with you guys the wedding budget that I have that I've been invited to, that I might have some expenses that I want to spend on just little things, maybe like a dress, shoes. So actually today I was actually able to find something. So I will share with you guys how I did so far on the budget. I don't quite have everything yet on the budget that I have, but I did want to give you a recap of that. But before I do that, because this is getting to the end of this week, and one of my goals is related to implementing self-discipline in all areas of my life. And the topic for this week is through my body. How do I implement self-discipline in my body and physical area, recreation, and organization? So I want to kind of do some type of discussion about those areas and how you could implement self-discipline in those areas with some examples and just some sidebars for me. So after I do my May monthly goal, like seeing what my progress is on those, I will talk about those areas in which I can implement self-discipline. Just give me an idea of how to do that and what does it mean. And then I'll share with you guys towards the end um, the items that I were able to purchase today and how that fits within my budget in regards to the wedding weekend. So let's go ahead and get into it. But before I go to that, I want to remind you to comment, like, and subscribe below, and then there will be some description things linked below if you want to learn more about the details that I'm sharing in each video. May 2025 goals. No, goal number 1 is to earn at least $2,000 from a supplementary income that I will disclose at the end of this month once I reach this goal. Goal number 2 is to pay off Chase credit card, which had a starting balance of $1,384.42. Goal number 3 is to lose at least 10 pounds. I had a starting weight of 239 pounds, which I weighed myself on April the 27th. And I will share with you again my progress on that since then. Goal number 4 is to start SQL course on Microsoft to advance skill. Goal number 5, read and study and meditate on discipline. And goal number 6, implement discipline in all areas of my life. So let's start out with how am I making progress on goal number 1, to earn at least $2,000 from my supplementary income. Well, from the first week of this month, I was able to earn a total of $370. Last week, I earned a total of $369. And so if I remember correctly, from this week, I already had shared what I made on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so that was a total of, because my goal that I mentioned on the previous video, several previous videos, and if this is the first video that you're watching, there are some additional videos prior to this where I start out with starting from the beginning of this month. So in that video, I shared that my goal is to try to make it to where at the end of this week, I will have $800 left to earn, meaning for the next 2 weeks, I will only have to earn at least $400. And so I'm just going to kind of gauge where I'm at again prior to today, and then I'll share with you guys how I did today, and then I'll kind of do a little bit more math to kind of figure out what I need to do on Friday and Saturday to make that 800 goal. So again, if I was to take that left amount from last week, 1260, and minus it by 800, which is what I want left, that means for this week I need to earn a total of $460.31, Well, on Monday, I earned 81.40, so I'm going to subtract that from there. So that brings down to where I would have to earn $378.91. Well, on Tuesday, I earned $50.75. So I'm going to subtract that. So after Tuesday, the amount that I would have to make is $328.16. And then yesterday, I was able to make $56.26, which would bring it down to $271.90. And let's see what I earned today. So today was a little shy. That's probably the least I've earned. Well, that is the least I've earned this month. And for it to be on a Saturday, that's kind of alarming. So I'm going to still subtract that from the $271.90. So $271.90 minus 40.74. That means in order to meet that 800 mark, where I would have $800 more left to earn, I need to make a total of $231.16 combined for Friday and Saturday. Now, how that looks, we shall see. If I were to divide it by 2, since I have these 2 days left, that means on average each day I need to earn about $115.58. So $115.58 on Friday and $115.58 on Saturday. But I know on Saturday, because I have my hair appointment. I have my hair appointment at 7 o'clock, and I wrote this down on one of my sticky notes. I have my hair appointment at 7 o'clock, 7 until 8. And I should have everything. My goal is to have everything in place, so then it's not going to require too much for me to get ready and get out the door. So my goal is to try to squeeze in time, but even with that time, I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be enough time to actually earn money, but I'll just see. There's nothing wrong with actually seeing how much I'm able to earn. So I'm wondering if on Friday I need to try to push myself to earn as much as possible. And if I base it off of what I was able to do on the past 2 weeks, on average, it seems to be that I was able to earn about $120, I would say, on Friday. So let's just say on Friday I earn $120. Well, on Saturday I would have to earn $111.16. One Saturday, the first Saturday this month, I was able to earn a total of $169, but I'm thinking I was able to spend more time earning. Versus on the 10th, that's when I actually left out of town early, and actually it wasn't much time that I was able to spend on that, Saturday morning before leaving, because I left pretty early. But I was still able to squeeze in. So maybe it'll be a little bit different. So I'll just keep that number in my mind that both days, Friday and Saturday, I need to earn 116, 116. If I'm able to get well beyond 116 for Friday, that makes it much easier on me on Saturday. So I won't be kind of struggling to get there. And then even if I get close to it, I think that's still going to put me in a good place. I just wanted to kind of get down a little bit with the left amount as I'm getting closer to the end of the month, just to kind of help me again with achieving that goal much better and possibly exceeding that goal, because next week I'm only going to be able to earn money on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that'll be kind of like similar to the second week, but only difference is this time I'm able to dedicate my full Saturday to earn. So I don't think I've had a week so far this month, where I'm able to dedicate my full Saturday, except for the third, or it hasn't been the full week. That first week was only 3 days. And then the following week, I'll be able to earn money on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'll be able to earn money on all of these days. So that's going to kind of get me to where I need to be. So I want to definitely push myself to see if I can reach my intermediate goal of earning $400 and something dollars so that I have $800 left. So the amount of money that I'm aiming to earn at all together this week is $460.31, which would be more than what I've earned so far each week. Because the first week and the second week, I was shy of $400. And so this week, I'm aiming to earn $460 so that I can have $800 left. And it just makes it more reasonable for me. Goal number 2, pay off Chase credit card. $13.84 is the balance that I started out with. Well, I paid prior to the 10th, I paid $462. So that gives me a remaining balance of $922.42. And actually, prior to me making my budget for the weekend wedding, I actually tied into the fact that on the end of this week, I have to be able to pay $462 more to go towards my credit balance. And I won't get paid again until next week, to where I can kind of roll in some of my paycheck money to do that with. Okay, so I have a game plan for that. Goal number 3, lose at least 10 pounds. I started at a weight of 239 pounds on April the 27th. May the 1st, I reweighed myself and I was at 237. That was a loss of 2 pounds. On May the 4th, I weighed 232 and 2/10 of a pound. So I only had 6.2 pounds left. So that means by then I lost 3.8 pounds. And then this past Sunday, I weighed myself and I was at 233.8, which means I have 4.8 pounds left to go. Oops. Which means I've lost a total of 5.2 pounds in the matter of 3 weeks, just about. I guess you could count it 3 weeks. Yeah. So 2 weeks. If we're counting from the 27th, it would be, well, I guess you can count. Well, no, it's just 2 weeks because I didn't weigh myself at the end of the week, at the beginning of the week. So the 27th would have been 0. The 4th would be 1 full week. And then the 11th is 2. So I've done pretty good losing 5.2 pounds in 2 weeks. So on Sunday, I'm aiming for 232.2. And I've already been gearing myself up for the weekend, attending the wedding, already telling myself discipline-wise what I am going to eat, what I'm not going to eat, and not just trying to be snooty about it, because whenever you go to different events and stuff, you don't want to be off-putting. But at the same time, I don't want to steer away from my goal because I know this is something that I'm trying to achieve, and I don't want anything to get in the way of that achievement. Goal number 4, start SQL course on Microsoft to advance skill. I have already met this goal because I started on May the 4th. I started on module 1, which consists of units 1 through, it has 9 units. And then actually on maybe like yesterday at work, I actually attempted to work in this into my routine, and I realized that they have kind of somewhat changed the program. Like when I actually initially took this course or started taking this course in 2023, there was no such thing as a subscription. It was all the way free. But as I realized when I was trying to do the exercise on module 1, that it was trying to ask me for a subscription to be able to utilize the database that they have set up. It's like a virtual computer that you go into and you type in the commands, you do the different activities. And so I might wind up just using my work database and doing some similar query type stuff that they talk about through that lesson. And that to me probably would be the best bet because it gives me that real life application, because I'll be actually utilizing our database to kind of work my way through some of the functions that they share. So I think that's going to be my game plan. And I know I'm behind time on attempting to go beyond my goal by completing this course. because I should already be almost about to start. Tomorrow I should be starting module 4, and I should have finished module 3 today, and that's not the case. So I'm working on um I'm working on figuring out a plan that works, fitting this into a routine that I can actually stick to and actually do and complete. So I still have time because this course really doesn't take too long to get done if I actually had that time managed well. So even within the next 2 weeks, it's feasible for me to complete this goal, excuse me. So I shall see. Goal number 5, read and study and meditate on discipline. On that first week, I talked about and studied how self-discipline is important. And without self-discipline, it can cause us to hinder ourselves from reaching our full potential, whether we're talented or intelligent. If we don't have self-discipline, it's going to be hard to rise above mediocrity. And again, I don't want to be a hindrance to myself. So this statement here resonated so well with me when I studied it. I actually was reading the book titled The Power of Self-Discipline by Daniel Walter. And this statement kind of lifted off the pages for me. And I wrote it down as my resonating statement for week 1. Week 2, my resonating statement was pulled from the internet. It says behavior, routine, and habits are interconnected tools that are significantly contributing to developing self-discipline. And that it can be used to help build willpower. So setting up, identifying good behaviors, making some of those series of behaviors into a routine, and then making some of those routines into habits will help me be able to apply less effort. For example, the more I go to the gym, it's going to become a routine. I can make it a routine. And so it will be that much easier for me to go to the gym because I've gotten into the habit of going to the gym. So then it could also become a habit to where it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no matter what, I'm in the gym in the morning time. So that was a resonating study for me. And then this week, as I was looking more into finances and tracking my spending, I came across this statement that says, pay yourself first. Prioritize saving before spending. So it becomes a non-negotiable part of your budget. And that sentence right there is something I can meditate on and study because I would want to be able to implement that in my budget, which I haven't really done. And so I will be moving towards implementing that by studying it. And so in the previous video, I share how do you implement this? What does it mean? What are the benefits? I go in detail about this statement about paying yourself first. And so this means setting aside a predetermined amount for savings or investment immediately after receiving income rather than waiting to see what's left at the end of the month. And I know for certain that when I get paid, my first thing is pay my bills, then whatever's left. And then also on my last video, you should go back and watch maybe not the last one, but the one before, tracking your spending. You can see I share with you guys how much I actually spent. I went month by month since January of this year. January, how much did I spend on food, gas, car wash? February, March, April, and then I also did May as of from the beginning of May until that particular point. I'm going to continue tracking. I'm going to have to rework my budget, and I do want to share that as soon as I do to kind of share some ideas. And then I also want to implement savings in this manner just so I can be able to share it with you guys. And also I want to see how it grows and what is it, how long, doing this, how long does it take me to grow? So I will share later on, but I'll go ahead and tell you that I've already started thinking about this in detail, and I've already set out the different types of savings that I want to create. And those are emergency, travel, and other, like personal. I want to be able to set up emergency. I want to at least have $10,000 saved in my emergency account. And once I reach $10,000, I'll just keep adding in there. The more the merrier, just in case anything happens that I need to get fixed, I can get it fixed. And then for travel, I said I'll at least do like $5,000 to start out. Once I reach $5,000, of course, I'm not gonna say, oh, no more. I'm gonna continue, but that's just the what I'm aiming for right now. And then personal savings, I want to be able to reach $5,000. Haven't set a time frame. I've just figured out how much I would want to have in that account in a given period of time randomly. I want to keep it at least at that. That's like the minimum amount of money that I want to be in each of those savings accounts. So whenever I actually pull out some money, I want to make sure whatever's left in there is those amounts. $10,000 for emergency fund, $5,000 for travel, $5,000 for personal. So I have a starting game plan, and I'm going to be working towards um, completing that plan, and I will share it with you guys once I do that. Implementing discipline in all areas of my life. I've been aware of myself, self-care, taking breaks, the importance of taking breaks. Gym routine, it helps me clear my mind. It helps me be more proactive. In the morning time, I love going to the gym because by the time I get started at work, I've already met my activity goals and I just feel more productive. I'm able to think clearer when I'm working because of the exercise that I've done prior to. And then limiting social media. Uh, I turn off notifications on my phone. It just helps me control when and what I choose to enter into my ear gate. Career wise, I use a work log, priority list, an Excel sheet that I created that tracks my progress on my work. And it has helped me a lot because sometimes they go back and they're monitoring our work logs that we actually enter in on the system, but they don't require us to enter in everything. But on my particular work log, I list out everything. So if I were ever emailed about my work log, I could just easily snip my work log and share, hey, these are all the different things, even though the ones that they require us to do, it's just whatever those tickets are. But I'm able to provide my own work log that limits me from scrambling on figuring out what did I do during this time if there's not any documentation on it. Finances, I've been looking more into my budget. I actually was proactive about budgeting for Mother's Day weekend, and I'm continuing that proactiveness when it comes to this upcoming weekend as well. I'm refraining from going out to eat and spending money unnecessarily. And I could even add on what I've done this week so far. I'm starting to track my expenses to become more aware so that I'm able to save more. This is what I will be going over in detail on how can these different areas be implemented. So I will be going over that in detail because I have to share with you guys at the end of the week how I was able to implement it. So I want to get a good idea of what that means so that I'm able to do that. So here are my goals again. And I'm going to go ahead and get into how to implement discipline in body. So to build discipline across different areas of life, body, physical activity, recreation, and organization, focus on establishing routines, setting clear goals, and practicing consistency. That is important. And I feel like I've done that. I've made my goals very clear, and I'm practicing consistency by giving progress, checking my progress each day and sharing it with you guys. That is even being consistent. And then establishing routines, going to the gym, routine of when I'm actually doing these videos. That's even a routine. So I'm pretty much implementing that already in my body. And then discipline is about making sure you follow a plan and stick with it, even when you don't feel like it. And so one example of that is the gym, going to the gym. And then also even with making these videos, like I've most of the videos I've had to do at night. Sometimes I didn't do it at night. I had to do it in the morning. I had to get caught up on the videos a few times, especially after traveling out of town. I had to find the way, when am I gonna video? On Sunday, I videoed in the morning. Saturday, I videoed in the afternoon. So just being consistent and not just giving in to the temptation of not wanting to do it because I'm tired or because I just feel like I just want to do something else. So just sticking to the plan. My plan is to be transparent and to share my progress. And so I have to hold myself accountable and commit to that. All right, so the subcategories: how to implement discipline in physical. So number one, set a regular routine. Two, prioritize sleep. Three, practice healthy eating. Four, engage in physical activity. Five, gradual progression. So let me go to the list here to talk more in detail about each of these to give a clearer understanding of what that means. So when it said set a regular routine, that means establish a consistent schedule for meals, sleep, and physical activity. This helps your body adapt and make it easier to maintain healthy habits. So that is so true because I've mentioned in the previous videos that I don't use alarms to wake me up because I rely on my regular routine, and somehow my body just knows when it's time to actually get up. And I've done that for years now, and it has worked in my benefit. And in the same way with eating, sleeping, going to the gym, if you set a regular routine, then it makes it easier on my body to adapt. And number two, when it says prioritize sleep, it means adequate sleep is crucial for physical and mental health and can impact your ability to maintain other discipline areas. So sleep is important. I have to get those 7 to 9 hours of sleep in order to be able to, do what you need to do the next day or do what you need to do in the current moment. Everything must have rest. It's very important. Number three, practice healthy eating. That means choose nutritious food and avoid unhealthy habits. And that is a star in my book because I'm consciously thinking about that. Even when it comes to me going away on the weekend, I've already started thinking about it for this wedding weekend and prepping myself up for being able to choose nutritious foods and avoid anything unhealthy because I don't want it to backtrack me because I have weigh in on Sunday and I want that weight to be down, down, down. I don't want that weight to go up. So I don't want to make that sacrifice because I've been working real hard with making progress and I want that to actually show. Four, engage in physical activity. Find activities you enjoy and incorporate them into your routine. Five, gradual progression. Start with manageable goals and gradually increase the intensity or frequency of your workouts. So I feel like I've done all of those. All right, so let me go to the next area. How to implement discipline and recreation. Number one, establish boundaries. Two, prioritize activities. Three, balance work and leisure. Oops, there's only three there. So let me talk more in detail of what each of those are saying. So establish boundaries means set time limits for leisure activities and avoid overdoing them. That is something that I have somewhat worked on, like when it comes to housework, because I realized for me, I could literally spend more than a day doing housework. So there are other different activities that I need to do in a day. So I need to maybe like do part by part, break it down, set me a timer. There was a time that I did set a timer, 30 minutes, do a little bit of laundry. Then next moment, relax, do a fun activity. Then next 30 minutes, do a little bit more laundry. So I have done that, and that helps me avoid overdoing it. so that I'm not like spending the whole day. And now I'm really drained. And now when the next time comes, I have to do laundry, I'm going to be thinking about how long it took and all of that. Prioritize activities. Choose recreational activities that align with your interests and goals. For me, that would be walking, going to the gym, taking walk breaks, just getting up out the house and smelling the fresh air outside, being around nature. Number 3, balance work and leisure. Ensure that you're not neglecting work or other responsibilities in pursuit of leisure. That is true. So I thought it was going to say balance work-life balance. But this is more saying that don't neglect your work in the pursuit of leisure. So don't neglect what you need to get done. That could include, like, for example, instead of me going to the gym, I'm neglecting working out in order just to sleep in, which that is a temptation for me in the morning, where it might pop up in my mind, well, you can just sleep in this time. It'll be okay. But it's like, no, 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 no. I can't neglect. Even if I get there late, I still need to get in. I need to maintain my habit of getting there so I can continue. I don't want to slack off because it takes one day sometimes to get you all the way off track. And then it could take a longer time to get back on track. So I don't want that to happen. And then the last area for the body is how to implement discipline in recreation. Number 1, create a system. 2, use a planner or calendar. 3, delegate when possible. 4, eliminate distractions. 5, use a task management system. So let's look at this in more detail. I know I keep yawning, but it is nighttime and it's bedtime. So I'm going to finish this real quickly. So, organization. Create a system. Develop a system for organizing your tasks, files, and space. 2, use a planner or calendar. Keep track of appointments, deadlines, and tasks. I definitely have to do that because trying to remember everything in your mind, it's not to say that you have bad memory, but it's just not a good idea in my opinion, because once you have a full amount of things to do, something's going to slip out of your mind. You don't want to just have that sitting in your mind and not written somewhere just to make sure. So I've had moments in the past where I've missed appointments, had appointments mixed up, and it was almost like I'm running around with my head cut off when all I had to simply do was keep track of my appointments, deadlines, and tasks in my phone on the calendar where I can actually see it and it notifies me when it's approaching. Number 3, delegate when possible. If you're overwhelmed, consider delegating tasks to others. That's true. I've learned that I can't be a one-woman show. I'm very much self-motivated and I have mostly done things on my own. So knowing, and sometimes that can be very overwhelming because I'm trying to do a 2-person job as a one person. And I could see how this also helps me on my job as well, because why would I want to sit and struggle with something when I can ask my teammates? So I could ask for help or assistance or anything. And I can say I'm very grateful to have some outstanding team members that I work with that would be more than willing to help if they're able to. So number 4, eliminate distractions. Minimize distractions while working or studying. Phone notifications turned off, or even put on do not disturb, or even block off our calendar. I know we've started to block off our calendar on one part of the day at work just so we can get our head down into our work and what we need to do. And then last, use a task management system. Tools like to-do lists or project management software can help you stay organized. And I personally like to use my calendar on my phone. And then of course I use Excel sheet when it comes to my work log at work. All right, so I've already gone over how I progress on my goals so far. And then this being one of the goals where I need to show that I've implemented discipline in the areas of um, physical recreation. What was the third one here? Organization. So I didn't put that one on here, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Oh, it should be on here. I just titled them the same instead of switching out the titles, organization. So this is organization right here. All right, so I've already went through those. And so now I want to share with you a short video on my purchase that I bought. I want to actually show you guys my purchase, but then I'm going to first go ahead and share with you my budget again. So this weekend on the 17th, I will be out of town because I've been invited to a wedding. I'll come back on Saturday. So I came up with a budget just in case I'm out here spending money. And I know maybe I want to buy a dress, some shoes, and some other thing. I have my hair appointment on Saturday, so I included that in here. And then I know because I have to travel that I need to pay for gas. And I could actually, I'm going to wait for the gas thing because I know I would be doing some driving these next few days. So I've already loaded in the gas on my vehicle, but I'll go back and put that in later. So today I'm here to talk about because I found a dress and shoes that I purchased. So the dress I've budgeted $40 for, and the shoes I've also budgeted $40 for. And so today I was able to find a dress that I liked, that I fit, that was $15.99. So that's below budget by $24, which is awesome because I budgeted for $40 because I was looking at some dresses in another place the other day, and I was like, well, let me just double it just to make sure. Same thing for my shoes. They cost $15.99, which is a difference of $24. So I'm actually $48 below budget so far. So that's actually good. And I remember I said that whatever extra money that I have is going to go into my opening up one of my savings accounts. And then from there, I'm just going to figure out what amount to automatically put in there each day, each month, however way I split it. So I'm going to now share with you guys, show you the dress and the shoes that I purchased, and then I'm going to share with you a video that I made wearing the dress so you can see how it actually looks on me. And this dress actually is a size medium. So it was I couldn't try it on when I was at the store. It was late, and so they had closed the fitting room. So I really had to go based off of my gut feeling. And I was like, well, how happy would I be to realize that I'm able to fit into a medium-sized dress? Because normally when I'm under 200 pounds, I'm able to wear medium to small outfits. So with that being said, you see the dress, you see the shoes, you also see how I look in the dress and shoes. So this is the close of this video for the day. I hope what I shared was helpful to someone. If it was helpful, or even if it wasn't helpful, still leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I love this dress because it is flowy enough and stretchy enough to be very comfortable, but then it also looks very nice once I add some accessories like jewelry, some gold jewelry, that it can really look very much so fancy. And then the shoes, they actually have, and the photo does not do it justice because the shoes have golden rhinestones around the soles of them, along with golden rhinestones on the top of them. And it matches perfectly. Like the color of the dress and the color of the shoes match perfectly. It's almost like those two things were put in the store. Although they were separate, they actually were put in the store to be meant to buy together because it is just like a perfect match. And so I'm just looking forward to seeing how this all comes together on wedding day. And it didn't cost any more than $31. And I was under budget. So I'm happy that I was able to find these two items. And what I'm going to do for my accessories, I'm actually going to look at what I have first before I go out and attempt to buy anything else. Same thing with nail polish. I might do a white nail polish on my toes. I might do a white nail polish. Um, Kind of debating what type I should do. I mean, I could do gold, but I think that might be doing a little bit too much. So I might do white nail polish on my toes. And then, of course, I have my hair done. So that'll just be, it won't necessarily be styled or anything. I don't think I've thought of letting her style it. I'm just going to do a basic retwist or interlock is what I get. And then I might apply a little bit of makeup for the occasion. So I think I look pretty good. What do you think? Comment below. Comment below what you think about this outfit for the wedding this weekend.